WBNT, Channel 5, Boston. Now in stereo.
Video games are the latest craze to sweep the country and most of the world, too. Millions of people are addicted to hours of gazing at electronic images on game screens in arcades and in their own homes. What makes video games so popular? Well, we search for an answer as we begin a special series on Video Fever, games people play.
Part of the fascination is the way the games are designed. Part of it is the sound.
I like the details on it. There's good details on the games.
Electronics is changing so rapidly. With each change in electronics, it brings something new. So this is not a passing fad. It's a very tough dollar. It's getting tougher. It's not easy. We all want that same buck.
Video games, in a sense, are addictive. Not like drugs, more like the need to jog.
Peer relationships, a source of self-esteem, enjoyment in life, are wrapped up in video games, just as they might be in bowling, running with your cronies with whom you run every Sunday or something of this sort. I have not met anybody who can't go through the day in withdrawal from video games.
When you walk into an arcade, any arcade, come with an open mind. An open mind is easy to expand. Question: is it fair to blame juvenile delinquency on the video game craze?
Kids who have not been good at much of anything else. Some of them have turned out to be exceptionally good at some of these video games. Talk about their high scores and their achievements as the most esteemed building activity in their entire life.
setting sun? Is a smoking gun? Is a four-letter word? I hope it hurts. Love is a fatal flaw. Is a broken jaw? Is a burning bridge? Move your hips. And the ghosts of the boulevard, littered with lonely hearts. A city like a graveyard, once was a postcard. When you lose your wonder, and you can't remember where we were living in the days of thunder. 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 Living in the days of love was a dream to have, was a king-size bed, was an escape plan, was an open hand. Now it's a dog from hell, it's a dream you sell, it's an epitaph, it's a photograph. And the ghosts of the boulevard, littered with lonely hearts. A city like a graveyard, once was a postcard. When you lose your wonder, and you can't remember where we were living in the days of thunder. 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 Living in the days of
Hello, good evening, and welcome everyone to the Overwatch All-Star Brawl presented by Star Esports. This is a double elimination tournament dedicated to the Overwatch Tier 3 community, and it's powered by OmniCoach. Visit omnicoach.gg and use the promo code Star Esports for 10% off your first video package order. Now, today we have Aptyx eSports taking on Full Send in Match 7 of the winner's bracket, but before we get started, I want to thank Boxin TV for the Tier 1 sub. Thank you, Boxin TV. We're looking forward to entertaining you tonight, as well as all you lovely viewers out there. So I, by the way, am 3.007, and I'm joined by Sir Waltham.
Charismatic as always, 3, but never ends with you. Yes, I am Sir Waltham. Very happy to be here. Very excited. Tonight, as mentioned, we're going to be seeing Aptyx versus Full Send. Very excited for this matchup.
Yeah, Aptyx eSports is a team that we've seen around town on Star Esports Live, previously dubbed an Overwatch Watchers Brawl, before. So looking forward to seeing what their new rendition has to offer. Also, of course, Full Send. Speaking of which, Sir Waltham, I think my erstwhile partner has some good stuff for us.
Yeah, before we get into the match, we are also going to be joined by Koa 3K from the side of Full Send. Koa, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good.
Fantastic. Now, Koa, you want to go ahead and just tell the people at home in your own words what your role is within your team.
So yeah, on Full Send, I'm the founder, owner, and Hitscan DPI.
Wow, certainly sounds like you juggle a lot of plates there. I guess we'll just kind of go down the line one by one. You talk about first primarily being one of the owner of Full Send. What does that entail for those people at home who may not be familiar with the team dynamic?
I mean, I own the team. I don't know what to say.
And so I guess what I meant was, is there like a lot of planning that goes into that, or is it more just kind of a sitting position? There's not as much management involved?
I don't manage it at all. We haven't managed.
Okay, absolutely makes sense. Now, you said you were one of the founders when we were talking a little bit earlier. Is that that's correct? If I'm remembering right. Who else was one of the founders of this team? Are they still with you guys currently?
Yeah, another founder is Shadow JR.
Okay.
He co-founded the team along with me.
Fantastic. And now finally we'll get to the third of the triple threat. You said you are the hit scan player for your team. Really, I guess this goes more to you than kind of in the context of the team. But is your team that comfortable in goats? Do you play goats a whole lot? And if so, how have you as a hit scan player kind of adjusted to that?
Yes, we are very comfortable with Goats and play the comp a lot in scrims. As for me, I actually love playing Zarya. I think Goats is a really fun comp, and like, it's how the game should be played with teamwork and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people would agree. Overwatch is oftentimes conceived as a very team-oriented game, unless you're on ladder, I would suppose. But that being said, you said that your team's very comfortable on the 3-3. It's very teamwork-based. Are you guys worried about the transition that's likely going to be happening from the free choice to the 2-2-2 role lock that's perhaps going to be popping into a lot of tournaments moving forward?
No, I don't think we're that worried because all of our players are pretty flexible and comfortable in other heroes other than like the Goats heroes, you know? So we shouldn't have a problem.
Fantastic. Look forward to hearing it. Also look forward to seeing your team here on the next map, Lijiang Tower. It looks like we're about to be getting into that very soon. So before I let you go, Koa, is there anything you want to say out there to Twitch before we see your teams pop onto the battlefield?
No, not really, but we're going to be out of your spawn door. That's
I like that confidence coming through. Giving Aptyx just a little bit of a warning, maybe a little bit of a threat. Koa, as usual, thank you for hopping down into the casting booth, answering a few questions for us, and just hanging out in general.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, best of luck out there, my friend. We will see you on stream.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Now, Threep, we are going to Lijiang, as I mentioned a little bit before. Let's kind of go over the fundamentals that we like to go over with Lijiang Tower, the different compositions we're going to be seeing coming out here.
Lijiang Tower has the fantastic advantages being one of those maps with a variety of situations teams will find themselves in. On Gardens and Night Market, you lend themselves possibly to a more DPS-centric comp if you're willing to run it, or of course, as we've seen multiple times before, a standard 3-3 composition works just as well as some Sombra play. Now, with Control Tower, however, then we might even start to see some Mei coming out, and boy, do we ever love that.
Yeah, I really do. I know a lot of people talk kind of a little bit of the smack about the triple or, the variants of what is called the GOATS comp in that triple sense. But I really do like seeing the Mei variant of it. I don't know if it's because it's the Mei play itself or just the fact that it's, a twist you don't really get to see anywhere outside of that Lijiang and maybe back in the day Hanamura. But now not as much on Hanamura. It's more so just catered for that command center in Lijiang.
Yeah, Hanamura tends more, I think, towards that bunker composition with the Orisa and the Baptiste and the Bastion getting thrown in there. But with Lijiang Tower, you have no choice but to be mobile. Thou shalt set up on point and be able to hold it or die trying, as they might say. So it all is possibly going to depend, based on what these teams are comfortable running, what map or particular round we're going to start on. As this can be a kind of a map where if you only get Night Market and Gardens, one team can run away with it, I should say. And wow, holy moly, we are starting on Gardens. All right, Sir Waltham, what's the friendly wager that where you are going to see some Pharah?
Oh man, I don't know. Given what I was just talking with Koa about, I don't know if we're going to see a lot of Pharah on the side of Full Send, because they were saying that they feel pretty comfortable in Goats. As you know, if you feel more comfortable in that, you may not be as comfortable running the DPS heavy comps. So I think if we do see a Pharah, it's more likely to be on the side of Aptyx, but I don't know enough about these teams. Haven't seen them quite enough yet to be willing to wager anything. Let's save it for like the semifinals, finals. Be willing to put my hat on the line for that.
Yeah, that's fair. Given based on what we are seeing, I don't know. Oh wow! So both teams going to be throwing out the Pharah selection early on, as Sir Waltham and I know. Anyways, so their propensity for goats is a thing. Now the big question though is, if one team brings out DPS and one team brings out goats, that could be a particular situation where maybe one team decides to switch, maybe one team doesn't. We've seen in some play here that in this particular level, it's possible to counter a composition with some well-established DPS play, but it's not sure if that's actually going to happen.
Yeah, usually when we see the switches come through, it's when one team moves on to goats and one team's on DPS, the team that doesn't feel, oh my goodness, that's going to be a good start either way, whether you switch or not.
Yep, and as Praise takes down the Shadow JR Pharah, it gets rezzed immediately, and Faded wins the Hammond duel that got set up in this little house over here. Ooh. Koa 3K, our interviewee extraordinaire, finds Choco's head, goes for Alexio, despite the goats claim from the initial full send is bringing it on full. Whoa! Moonblue finds through Koa 3K with the boop. Squid rests their Ana, and now all of a sudden it looks like more of a match.
Yeah, absolutely. That kill on Koa was crucial considering how much value Koa was getting early on in this fight. And now it looks like it is all paying off for this side of Aptyx.
All right, speaking of Pharah, Moonblue is doing fantastic work. Another boop kill comes in on that one. They're going to find the Mercy as well, and that's going to be a point take now for Aptyx, who start building the percentage. And a ton of ults going to be coming online. Now, despite the solid showing very early from full send, they do not have a lot going for them except maybe an EMP for the next fight.
Yeah, and it absolutely makes sense. We saw that Widow get taken out, and then we saw Moonblue just absolutely show dominance now that they could reign in the air a little bit freer. I mean, you gotta love that play. It looks like a little bit more air superiority will continue to reign down here.
So Widowmaker is a pretty hard counter for the Pharah if you can find that kill, and it's true, but though Koa 3K also finds the Choco, which also prevents them from generating an EMP for their own. Meanwhile, Vampiro is going bonkers with their own EMP. They get the other hack again, and now a barrage goes in early, complete with Nano Boost. It's not going to find a lot, but it does find Koa 3K, and that's going to keep it in the air just long enough for everyone to generate just a few more ults. The Squid to pop a Valkyrie, keeping everyone alive just longer for Aptyx to hold this point.
Yeah, that was absolutely crucial. Moonblue dropping that barrage right onto the head of Koa. That is the target you need to take out, considering there is no D.Va for the side of full send. If there was a D.Va there, you'd really have to worry about that D.Va matrix, but there was just not any shielding from full send to stop those raindrops of rockets from dropping onto their head.
And now it's a full shield in a different way for full send, who have the big six, as we like to say. This is going to be literally every ult on the planet coming in, but Prey still finds Shadow! Oh my goodness! Faded drops the nades in a big, nice widespread after a little boost into the air. So that's going to make it a little difficult for everyone to pop in there. Shadow does actually switch, though, after they get popped. They're going to jump right onto the Genji to try and deal with some of this nonsense. Borkin's grenades actually do find someone. Koa 3K does pick up Moonblue. That's going to be a quick res, but Aptyx is holding the point, and now we're entering into one-fight territory.
Yeah, it's getting very dangerous. Shadow Jr. may have wanted to get that Dragon Blade a little bit earlier. Faded getting Slep's also going to really kind of hinder this team's push here.
Yep, and so there we go. Praise finds Vampiro before anything else can happen. That one does grab Borkin, and losing your tank is a big situation. The EMP goes in, only finds Shadow, a solid target if they had Blade, but otherwise they're just going to have a good time getting poked down a little. That one is actually going to grab Moonblue out of the sky, and we can't count full send out of this one yet as they start their cap.
Yeah, Choco may have had a little bit of a misplay there. You might like to think that EMP would be better used, but the Nano Boost is going to be coming out. Maybe they're trying to build it back up.
Yeah, multiple reses also coming in, but it's the Widows going back and forth, kills left and right, and it's still full send. Kind of showing dominance, but Borkin being alive is a huge quantity of HP that could stall out. In fact, they're not. They are going to have to make their escape. Full send finally takes control of the point for the first time this round.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit brutal too, because as we talked about it earlier, with that Nano Blade coming up, Shadow Jr. only about 15% from it. That's something that the now attacking Aptyx is really going to have to keep an eye on. So many soft targets that can get absolutely sliced and diced into good cuts of salami. You don't want to see it happen. And Choco going to be having that EMP soon might help to mitigate it if they invest one or two of the ults, but not, the combo.
Well, you sleep dart gonna open, going right into Borkin, gonna start that one off. Koa 3K finds Moonblue yet again, Widowmaker being that particular counter for Pharah. The Wham Slam Llama Jamma goes right in for both Hammonds, and Praise is gonna be able to find Koa 3K, popping sights immediately after. Let's see if they can get any kills on him. But a Nano Blade is here to stay. Alexio going to be going down very quickly as a result of that. Rez goes in on Koa 3K. Borkin does find Vampiro, and aside from Shadow JR also going down, it looks like it's gonna be a solid hold for the full send.
Yeah, a lot of resources went into getting, just to make sure that no resources went into Shadow Jr., but really the EMP, the anti-nade, it didn't help Shadow Jr. able to clean up just enough in turning that fight. But with a good opening from Praise, it's looking good for the side of Aptyx, but we'll have to see how the rest of the fight plays.
Yeah, it's difficult to say how the Widow duel's been going because both Widowmakers have just been so fantastic. And yes, ult's going in. Moonblue actually pops the ult, just a solo flop Faded. And it looks like Aptyx might be counting on this being their final fight. They've got a Nano left, and they're going to have to be committing a lot here. And except Vampiro's going to find Alexio, preventing that Nano from even going off. Choco does kill Stillwiki, and Moonblue finds Koa 3K, so this could be pretty big for Aptyx, who are starting to build some kills.
Yeah, absolutely. Vampiro going to be investing that Primal Rage just to get some of the supports knocked away. Not really going to pay off, though, since there's not a lot of crowd control on point, where the rest of the team of Full Send kind of got knocked down a little bit. And because of that, we're going to see the objective get secured, and they're going to take it for the first round.
Yeah, despite Koa 3K jumping onto the Tracer, they weren't able to survive long enough to get onto the point, as Moonblue gets yet again another murderous final blow. Speaking of which, now that we've finished at least one round of the game of the match, let us know who your favorite players are by voting in the Twitch MVP poll below the stream. Also, if you're liking what you're seeing, if you're having a good time, don't forget to throw it as like and a subscribe, because that just keeps the good times rolling. More viewers equals more sandwiches. And not for me, though. I actually make my own sandwiches. So, that being said, though, it looks like we might be in for a mismatch setup here.
Yeah, Shadow Jr. looking like if they're going to be rolling with this, although it seems like no tanks might not be the way to go. It looks... Oh, Faded going to be on that Orisa, actually. So they're going to be running a little bit different of a composition here with the 3 DPS coming out. And, you know, I can't say I disagree with this, but Aptyx on this kind of a modified triple or the 3-2-1 and a big sleep dart.
Oh, and Alexio actually does manage to pull the kill out with Vampiro. Praise actually shifting over to the McCree. Possibly they think this newfound buff is going to do some good for them. Well, the fact of the matter is Aptyx is doing a lot of work themselves. Choco finds that one, but Shadow JR fights back, grabs Praise before that McCree can do so much as a howdy. And but Aptyx still going to be the ones taking the point, so who can say?
Yeah, I really like the switch from Praise onto the McCree. That Sombra was not looking like it was going to be doing a whole lot of impact against the Pharah, but you put a McCree in there and suddenly it looks a lot better. And now we're going to be seeing the swaps from Full Send come in. It's going to cost them an ult charge, but perhaps the composition is a little bit more comfortable or what they're favoring.
And we also get the Reinhardt v Reinhardt duel, but Borkin having a solid advantage for the ult generation is being caught up to very swiftly by Faded. Also, that one land's going to grab another quick call into Praise. Poor McCree. The man just can't seem to catch a break despite the buffs coming in, but Borkin is going to grab Faded in the duel. Squid KD also finding Brigitte. That's a huge kills for this composition. So Aptyx definitely going to be holding on to the point here.
Yeah, you're asking me. Alexio getting a huge anti-nade onto both Faded and Shadow Jr., preventing that healing from coming in when they're both less than 100 hit points. And that might sound like a lot, but with a Reinhardt swinging at your head, as well as all these tanks, a fully charged up Zarya, that can absolutely make the difference. A really crucial cooldown used in that moment.
Also, I like that now that Faded's back on the Reinhardt, who has been stunned, slept, and downed very quickly. The Shatter going in means that Praise is going to switch back onto the Sombra, and it's yet even more kills for Aptyx, who without the, Full Send without the Reinhardt are sitting ducks indeed.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking aggressive. It was Full Send who was getting a little bit cocky earlier, saying take it to their spawn, but right now Aptyx looking a little bit familiar with the side of Full Send's spawn, and they still have a handful of ults. They still have the nano boost, the grab. Those are some crucial fight-changing ultimates. And on the defensive side, they're going to have the sound barrier. It's definitely looking good for them.
Yep, and so here we go. Now the fight is in full gear with Faded also throwing a Shatter. He throws it right into a shield, grabs no one. Instead, the grab comes in. There's a lot of good stuff going in, but a huge anti-nade and a fire strike to match it. Downs both shield-holding members of the Full Send. The counter Shatter goes out. There's literally almost no one left alive. It's time for cleanup on the point as we go into overtime, and Aptyx looking way too strong on this Lijiang tower.
Yeah, I like the confidence with that Earth Shatter coming out from Borkin, and a big EMP gonna be stunning down Faded, preventing any ham install from coming through, other than just feeding the hit point pool.
Yeah, so what we got to see here is that Aptyx eSports tried to do a thing with a McCree. It ultimately didn't end up working, so they brought out the Sombra, and that proved to be what they needed, though Aptyx with the 3-3 matchup did very well. So it's going to be now Full Send rocking back on their heels a little, but definitely not out of the game yet.
Yeah, Aptyx played that overall really well, intelligently on a lot of different fronts, right? So we saw the McCree come out first when the Pharah was up in the air. Then because the McCree came out, they switched to Goats, or they switched to a more tank-centric composition. Because they switched to a tank-centric composition, we saw Praise go back onto the Sombra, constantly making it to where Full Send could not feel comfortable in any comp they were playing. You like to see it.
Super Love It also going to be throwing a bone again. We've completed a match. Give us the MVP votes below the stream. However, for now, we are going to enter into the map selection for the next round.
Yeah, worth noting that unlike previous tournaments, we will not be having a hero ban phase. So it will be anybody available for selection if memory serves. And it looks like Aptyx going to go ahead and ban Junkertown. They may not be favoring the pirate ship tonight.
They also could be. So now we're entering into the mind games fun. Did they ban Junkertown because they actually really want to play Dorado? Who can say? But more importantly, now the choice has been made for Full Send. They may choose literally any map other than, of course, Lijiang Tower and Junkertown, and we also may not see a control map as we have just played it.
Yeah, so really Full Send still has a range of options here. Although, you know, we already know what it is. It's going to be Dorado. But, you know, thinking logically about it, we're probably not going to see Horizon Lunar. You just don't see it a whole lot. We also don't see Numbani a whole heap in this tournament. So really that's two more maps you can kind of say, yeah, probably not. I don't disagree with Dorado. I definitely like seeing it. It's a fun map to both watch and cast, in my opinion. So I'm definitely thinking we can see some fun compositions come out here.
Yep, so again, as we mentioned earlier, this is either a quintessential mind game play, or this is in fact the exact opposite of what Aptyx wanted. So Koa 3K, or rather Full Send, has selected the Dorado map, which is the only remaining escort map in the map pool now that Junkertown has been banned and Dorado has been selected. So there's a lot of different plays you can make here on Dorado. We haven't seen that particular Mei cheese in a while, so I am genuinely curious what these teams are going to bring out, especially given how fun, or rather effective, DPS compositions are these days.
Yeah, it can kind of run the gambit, right? A large amount of it, if you run a heavy DPS comp, is how well your team can work together, right? Your Pharah can blast down somebody, but if your Sombra's not there to clean up, or if, you know, the focus fire just doesn't come through like it needs to, it can kind of fall apart. And a lot of times it leaves you kind of scratching your head why. For those of you at home, however, worth noting that Aptyx eSports is going to now be on the attack first, so they will be on the right in red. Definitely don't want to get you guys confused on that one. Want to keep those squared away. Similarly, going to be Full Send on the blue in defense.
Yep, and so with Full Send getting to start on the defense, I don't know. Choosing to start on attack is, in my opinion, a quite pro gamer move, so to speak. That indicates that you are very confident in your ability to set the pace for any particular Overwatch map other than King of the Hill. So Aptyx eSports, I have a feeling whatever they're planning on taking Dorado to its utter completion. So whatever Full Send has in mind better be whamma slamma awesomeness. And it looks like they are going to be bringing the double tank, the trip support, and of course the Sombra. Meanwhile, I refuse to say anything about what Aptyx does.
Right, and when we talk about kind of the mind games, the thought process that might go into picking these maps, usually when we see a team pick defense, they feel it implies that they might feel a little bit more confident and want to get the game over a little bit quicker. Not that it's necessarily a BM choice to automatically say you want to be on defense first, but if you know the team is not going to be held, or is not going to get as far as you will, going on defense first can really help speed up the process. So Aptyx may not mind playing a little bit longer of a game here, but that might be some really deep thought going into it.
Ah, good point. So, yes, they are going to be starting out very quickly. They, of course, are not going to be bringing the Bastion because that's just hilarious. I definitely didn't want to see it at all in the slightest. But the hack now goes on to Squid. The attack is not generating any kills yet, but both teams are generating some ult charge. But Faded is doing a fantastic job of building up that R Shatter.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting hacked by the Sombra will absolutely make you willing to swing, kind of empower you to get a little bit more kills because you can't be defensive.
Yep, and Brigida takes out Brigida, Shadow JR from full send, making that happen. So the offense is a little crippled right now. That spawn's going to be back very quickly, and now, oh, there we go. So Faded finally goes down, and whoa, Borkin generated that Earth Shatter before anyone had anything to say about it. So there it is. Aptyx eSports gets way too many kills for the defense to be able to sustain. Their spawns being way longer. This is going to be a fight that Aptyx is going to win, and full send is going to have probably 1 or 2 more shots.
Yeah, and I'd like to say that despite Vampiro going down rather early into the fight, the Sombras aren't that far apart as far as ult charge goes. Just a little bit of pecking might help to bring one Sombra ahead of the other, as we just saw Praise shoot up about another 10% from the SMG fire. The rally might help affect this fight in the beginning. Big EMP though.
Wow, massive, grabs 5 on the defense, so full send. No abilities except for Vampiro themselves, who also dies. Aptyx again, the kills are filling the screen. As far as the Sombra compositions are going, Aptyx is currently doing the work that's needed. Praise going to be jumping onto the Widowmaker as we move into the streets phase, or I guess the second point B of Dorado. That's pretty much all street.
Yeah, I kind of like this. There's a lot of high ground that can be had on this streets phases, I'll call it. I'll be a little bit more controversial, I guess, in calling it that. But really, if you're able to maintain this high ground, which from the looks of it, full send not going to want to be switching off. They're just really going to have to watch out for Vampiro for the Widow. Praise getting brought dangerously low and taken out early.
Yeah, wow, fantastic. So you wanted that Widowmaker to be the one that popped that first kill. Instead, it's Vampiro who finds the Widowmaker, grabs Praise, and says, nah, not today. And yes, that will actually get Praise to switch onto the Sombra. I suppose they were trying to get for the kill, but the big shatter goes in, grabs the EMP, righty Vampiro, who also goes down. No EMP this round. Another shatter from Borkin goes right into a shield, but they are going to get Moon Blue as a result from some general chaos. Aptyx is going to be struggling to make this push continue to work as the shield goes very low. It goes down, and yes, full send getting very aggressive here, and rightfully so.
Yeah, and Vampiro going down was a strong advantage for this side of Aptyx. Squid was able to get off that sound barrier without the fear of it getting stripped because of that EMP blast, which is so good at eliminating shields from any play. But now they're going to have the EMP and they're going to lead with it, it seems.
And so they finally drop it. Yes, Vampiro gets it off. Finally, Moonblue goes down. 3 EMPs, though, and no other kills. And it looks like the offense is going to be able to recover a tad here. Charge is going in. Vampiro does find Alexio. Faded is going to go down thanks to the help of literally the entire team, which is kind of what you want to see in this particular composition. But full send not down out yet. Praise goes down yet again. So the defense will hold here. Aptyx not going to be able to get back to the cart for a while.
Yeah, Borkin getting very aggressive, so amazingly not punished to the crucial point of failure quite yet, brought dangerously low, but the recollection comes through, gets a decent Earth Shatter to end 1 to match.
Yeah, so the Earth Shatters come in, Borkin throws his into nothing. There's a huge EMP coming out from Praise, though. Grabs 4, 2 down. As a result, they do also find their Sombra counterpart. Cart continues now to move, so this is really good progress for Aptyx. Full send had a really solid defense here, and they have ults coming online. Could be another really excellent defense.
Yeah, it really could. And I just want to say, while I have a moment, these are some of the bloodthirsty Sombra go toe-to-toe. It seems like these players are just trying to out-frag each other, and we're going to be seeing the EMP drop from Vampiro going to land on 2.
And the nano boost goes on to Faded, but they get napped, so no nano Rhine for you. Thank goodness that movement speed buff was removed. Praise goes down yet again, however, so Aptyx's eSports' offense not going to be happening for a little while longer. Meanwhile, on the side of full send, we've got a Grav and a Barriers coming online, going up against another Grav nano, also with a rally, and of course, Borkin and Faded probably going to have Shatter for the next fight because they're just being fantastic.
Yeah, and Koa on this high ground has the absolute choice of when to drop that grab, and so does Choco comes through.
Shatters and barriers for days and lots of stuff going on right now. Faded is going to find Moonblue, however, looking like a solid option for full send. But again, Squid going to find a G's. The Shatter goes in, grabs 3, but Alexio is going to fall as a result. And the trade again, Squid grabbing yet Vampiro. So it's difficult to see, should the attack be pulling away right now? Is full send almost defeated? I'm going to go with, since the cart's not moving, full send's in the right here.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got to think that the respawn advantage is going to be a little bit more favorable towards full send. Aptyx having a tough time getting past this final turn. They really need to make some decisive wins here. It's very similar to like a 2CP style map situation where you have to win that fight and win it fast to get that last bit of progress.
Yeah, and if you don't, then you're going to be stuck into a fight that only benefits the one with the closer spawn. In this case, now we're kind of looking at the defense, but Aptyx eSports going to be having a lot of ults coming online right now, but a nano boost plus an EMP for the side of full... What is going on here? Aptyx, oh, I love this. They're taking a new route, flanking around the right side. They're going for the high ground.
They are, and worth noting, Vampiro and Squid gonna have to play around each other, one having the ult to counter the other. However, Praise also gonna have an EMP to match. They might lead with it, and it's looking like what Praise might be setting up to do.
Oof, but it doesn't matter because Vampiro went with the EMP instead. Barriers comes in on the follow-up, but Borkin goes down very quickly to the anti-nade. Shadow JR also going, and Aptyx, though, their scrappiness in a fight never to be denied, as Faded also goes down, looking very good for them as that one falls as well. This might be the push they needed.
Yeah, absolutely. I did think that Vampiro was so content with themselves to land that big EMP, but as soon as they do, Squid KD stayed on the high ground and dropped the barrier, didn't get touched by the hack, meaning that the EMP protection could come in, and because that fight went on long enough, Praise got out of the hack mode, or got out of the EMP mode, and landed an EMP of their own, and that really enabled the side of Aptyx to get some progress. Massive plays.
Yeah, it's nuts. The grab goes in, they almost get stunned out of it from Choco, but instead they're just going to halt the defense just long enough to build up some crazy energy. And wow, Choco going nuts. Shadow JR looking very low. They're going to live, but it's not going to be true for Faded, who... Oh no, they also make it out alive. Unbelievable. The ability of Full Send to pull their members out is almost unparalleled, but Faded does go down. Alexio falls, however, as a counter, but Aptyx still racks up the kills. 2 supports, Vampiro also going down.
Yeah, these Lucios have been having a tough time. Still, Kiwi drops the beat, and right as they do, Praise is right there with the EMP to strip all of it away. All that hard work done for that support player just gone in an instant. Aptyx gonna make some more progress off the back of it.
Yep, and so they're getting very close. Vampiro drops that 3-man EMP, but it's still not looking super good as the rally goes in and the sustain is crazy. Moonblue! Moonblue actually goes down and the shatter comes in from Faded, who catches at least one rather. But there it is, so Full Send mounting a huge defense, and with 10 seconds left, this might actually be it for Aptyx's offense.
Yeah, this is just going to be stagger at this point. Aptyx going to have to really make a monumental effort. They're going to be the Sombra to stall out. Praise going to be there, just trying to get some progress, but may not be enough.
Yep, and despite the number of ults coming online for Aptyx eSports, they're not going to be able to get there in line, I think, to charge them up because Praise going down. Kills only benefit the defense, and kills would be benefiting the offense, but instead, Moonblue's the one who gets booped into oblivion. Now, Zarya with a massive anti-nade gets on the cart. They're holding them off of it. They get a little more traction. This is crazy. You can't count Aptyx out, but until they're actually all dead and everything goes down.
Yeah, Aptyx was looking very scrappy there. That was a big shatter from Borkin, dropping everybody onto the floor. Unfortunately, right before that, got hit with an anti-nade and just could not recover. It was looking so good, just not able to pull it out. As we said, those respawn advantages can be so favorable for the defense as soon, pretty much from the back half of Streets phase onward.
Yep. And so there you go. They get just close enough, but still not a map completion. So it is going to stand 2 quote-unquote points earned for Aptyx. Meanwhile, Full Send now has a chance to win the map outright. Regardless of what they do, this map will end on this run. Either Full Send can take it all the way through, or Aptyx is going to stop them here.
Yeah, it's kind of getting very close here. I mean, we have yet to obviously Full Send go on the attack here, but I have some faith in them. I think they can really pull it forward. These Sombras have been just absolutely fierce, absolutely ferocious, and I'm hoping we're going to see more of them on this attack defense phase as well.
Yeah, and it looks like both teams are going to be going with the compositions that they had last round. So now it's going to be up to whether Aptyx can do how do we say this? The same composition, but on defense. And Full Send, yes, they did a fantastic job of stopping Aptyx where it mattered. But if Aptyx can make a better point hold than Full Send, it's going to be another round for them. So Full Send's ability to use their ults correctly and bust through Aptyx's defense is going to be what decides whether they take this round home, map home rather, or if Aptyx takes a match point lead.
Yeah, we're going to see Aptyx take a little bit of a forward position, just like we saw from the side of Full Send. They choose that the first corner is the corner they really want to try to lock down, which can be risky if you let it get near bridge, because you lose this fight.
Yes, and so there we go. The upfront defense is going to start very early, as Full Send did. Aptyx choosing the option of 1 fight lost up front is 2 fights in that point. So the Sombra's jockeying for position, and the hack does go into the Shadow JR. No heals for them at the moment, but Aptyx is being pushed back to the first under choke.
Yeah, Aptyx does not seem like they've been doing too great of a job holding ground, but Faded going down might open things up just a little bit.
Yeah, Aptyx is getting encouraged by that particular attack, and why not? Though, so here you go. Faded is back in action. They're swinging for the hills. Both Reinhardt's generating that ult charge very quickly. Borkin, of course, grabbing the Shadow very early. Going to grab 2. It gets Faded. It gets Shadow JR. It's too many kills for Aptyx. Full Send going to be on their shoot. That's a good, solid amount of time wasted.
Yeah, and now they are kind of firmly holding at that choke. This is kind of a best of both worlds. You held at the choke, you didn't lose the fight too convincingly. Well, you didn't lose the fight convincingly or really at all. You let it get to the choke, and now you have firm control of the choke as well. You like to see it, and we're going to be seeing some ults come online for the defending side. They're going to be favoring that as well.
Yep, and so with Borkin trying to build up a shatter of their own again. There it is, a big grab. That's going to mean a Reinhardt. Ooh, almost get moved. He almost got charged out, but the big nap came in from that one. Prevents that from happening, but Borkin also gets the nano, and that means they're going to be swinging for the hills, and swing they do. Faded goes down once again, not able to bring the shatter. Borkin gets yet another shatter, throws it into the fight. They're going to be more than a couple kills coming off of that.
Yeah, there absolutely will. Borkin's so far on track to have an Earth Shatter every fight. You gotta like to see that action going forward. And really, that nano boost also very helpful on the side of Aptyx, just giving that extra punch, that firepower to really apply the damage and turn the screws to Full Send. But Full Send does have the EMP as well as the Earth Shatter. That can be a really good combo if they set it up just right. I believe they can do it.
Yeah, and also with the Grav, it's honestly looking very good for Full Send. This is one of those situations where they might not even use all of those ultimates. A single Sombra EMP is going to make it happen. But so there's the 3-man EMP going in, but the barriers comes in right on top of it. The only one not getting it is FaZe, so looking very good as, yes, Shadow JR goes down. Now Choco follows immediately after, so Full Send doing amazing work now, cleaning up Aptyx. Squid goes down, Choco follows.
Yeah, it's looking favorable for Full Send. It's looking like this fight is going to be them, but the nano boost coming out, who then takes a pin for their troubles. This is just an attempt to build up a little bit of ult charge, maybe stall off the point a little bit longer. That Ana boost was a little bit dicey.
Yeah, and now Shadow JR getting the rally going just means it's all the more difficult. As two-man Shatter rather, but neither Faded nor Shadow JR are going to go down as a result. Moonblue and Borkin actually are the ones to fall. So it turns out whoever you shatter, they're the ones who on your team are going to die. Go figure. Choco finds Faded, but Full Send looking very strong right now. They're going to take point A. They're going to get some time back.
Yeah, on the plus side, I was talking about how the nano may have been a little bit questionable on the side Aptyx, but it did also help to ensure that Full Send invests their nano as well. And because Aptyx used it earlier, they're going to have a little bit more ult charge. They're going to have more in the pocket. Speaking of ults in the pocket, both teams going to be rocking an EMP and a Grav coming up on this next fight as well. Definitely the combos to be looking out for.
Yeah, it's again, we've seen a lot of preemptive grabs or preemptive EMPs and preemptive Sombra kills, making sure that the opponent's team is not going to be able to get the advantage that they want. So now with some high ground advantage here, Aptyx has a really solid option to get some defense, but Full Send is just making it happen. Now the Grav goes in, EMP goes out from Vampiro, but it only catches Choco. That's crazy. So yes, the Grav was already thrown out, so not really anything going to be happening, but Koa3K finds Borkin. Unbelievable. Full Send turning this around. The kills now staggering up.
Yeah, Vampiro are going to really be putting pressure onto the healer, onto the Ana. Both playing at very low health percentages. It's going to be Vampiro taking it away, and because of that, we're going to be seeing Alexio have a little bit of a later spawn. Still not going to be too bothered by that. They might get one more fight coming in here, but there's not a lot of ults to speak of on the battlefield, at least for the defensive side. They're going to have the EMP, they're going to have the Earth Shatter, but other than that, this fight's going to have to go a little bit longer if they want to build up more.
There it is. A huge EMP goes in, but still Kiwi manages to pull off the barriers despite, and the Earth Shatter goes in, but there's not enough follow-up to make any kills. Nano Boost goes actually onto the Faded, but there it is. Still no kills coming in, and the big anti-nade and an EMP for good measure goes on to the members of Aptyx. So I think that's going to be a bit of cleanup time as Full Send are going to be taking point B just as soon as this last cleanup.
Yeah, and Aptyx just trying to buy a little bit of time. Full Send so far looking better on the time bank. Aptyx got to this point right around overtime, if I remember right. And with just under 3 minutes to get it to final, they're in a little bit more favorable of a spot, but in terms of ultimate economy, it's looking pretty even. An Earth Shatter and a grab versus a Nano and a grab.
Yep, and the situation again being this is the final round. If Full Send quote unquote completes this map, that's it. They get the win. Hack now going on to still Kiwi. It's gonna drop any of that healing. A huge Nano Boost comes in. That was amazing. Are they looking for that shatter possibly? But it might not even matter because angry Reinhardt, best Reinhardt, swings for the hills. So finally, Aptyx get a little bit of a stabilization here.
Yeah, Borkin doing a little bit of a Tokyo Drift impression, and they are going to that Shatter 4 next fight. That's going to be crucial considering that Faded did invest the Shatter into that fight. Koa 3K, the only other ult to contest with on the offense, and that's still a very powerful ult, but it's one that they feel like they've had for quite a few fights now.
Yep, and Praise having the EMP ready to rock and roll with a Shatter means that they are more than likely going to be using it, knowing that Koa 3K has been holding onto a grab for quite some time. Now Fire Strike's coming in, so Full Send going to be, yep, there it is! The humongous EMP for the ages! Koa 3K and Faded go down very quickly. Again, no grab this fight, meaning Choco gets to build a little bit more. Borkin doing some really solid work here, but now Aptyx eSports is going to be without a lot of important ults unless Squid can build his barriers very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like the focus fire that came through here. We saw the EMP land. Borkin hits the Earth Shatter, and of everybody, they focused Koa because Koa was the one member who didn't get hit by that EMP, still had the grab up. That could really have changed the course of the fight there. I like that focus fire coming through, but it did leave them quite dry. That's going to be a little bit of a concern for Aptyx moving forward.
Yep, so Full Send again demonstrating that they have the arsenal to make this happen. And with possibly one more fight, it's going to be big. Oh, Borkin looked way too low when it happened. He goes down. A Nano Boost onto Faded means that they are also going to be swinging for the hills. Alexio does find still Kiwi, but it's not looking good for Aptyx. The grab goes into nothing. It catches no one. Oh no, Aptyx is at free reign to do what they please. The barriers go in. Praise looking very low. They're going to get taken out before they can get out of there. And the contest is real, but Full Send looking very strong as they push this through to completion.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be Aptyx getting some kill. This grab might turn around, but another and a nade gonna come through, help turn the tides.
Ananade MVP as wow, Full Send just makes it happen. It's only stall mode for Aptyx now as they bring out a Mei onto the card of all things just to get that Ice Pillar ready to rock and roll. She gets stunned, wham bam, slamky mams, all the way to Wazoo. Aptyx not able to mount the defense. Full Send takes it. We're going to the next round.
Yeah, we are. That is going to tie it up. Aptyx and Full Send both at one map, and that one was looking competitive on both sides of the field. It was looking a lot more of a fair play game than perhaps we saw on Lijiang. But, I think that this is a little bit more conducive of the, tank heavy play style, even though we only saw 2 tanks on both sides. It's very much so a traditional 3-3 style comp. So, maybe we see in compositions like this, Full Send has a slight advantage.
Yep, and so there we go. That is going to be Dorado. Full Send evens it up 1-1. And now Aptyx gets to ban a map. So well played, all involved. That's going to be, I don't know, again, difficult to say whether it was mind games until we get an interview, but whatever happened, happened. And Dorado came out in big way for Full Send. Aptyx now going to have to get the next map pick and hopefully bring it back to their own turf.
Yeah, that's certainly going to be the plan here. Aptyx has the map pick on hand, meaning Full Send's going to get a chance to ban one for the next, for the entire series here. They do have kind of a few options here. I mean, the Junkertown was already banned, but they couldn't even have it played next anyway, so it's not too big of a deal. But we kind of go back to it. Maybe Aptyx wanted to get rid of escort maps because it was their weakest map. There's a lot of speculation that can kind of go on here, and I only bring that up because, you know, if they haven't done the research, the teams are just about as speculative as we're going to be. It's a decision that needs to kind of be made very choosily, but in the end, Full Send going to choose to ban Hanamura.
You probably also maybe want to go with the map that you feel the best at. Again, if you haven't had the chance to do the research, if you haven't had a chance to, you know, get any kind of information, you're gonna have to go with maybe the map that your favorite. And so there we go. Full Send actually going to be banning Hanamura. So as Sir Waltham has mentioned, the two CP maps maybe not really having a good time here. So Aptyx, they're asking the big question. They're looking for a King of the Hill map, and which makes a lot of sense seeing as how they took that as their last map.
Yeah, I mean, Aptyx definitely seems a little bit more comfortable when they can kind of run rings around the side of Full Send, when you can have those maps that kind of, you know, have the option for a little bit more DPS play. You know, we talk about Oasis, which is one of our other control maps. We see a lot of Pharas be played there. Ilios, you see a lot of snipers being played there, especially on something along the lines of Ruins. You also see the Orisa Hog, so that might be something they're feeling a little bit more favorable towards it. But it looks like the choice is going to be on Oasis for this round by Aptyx, and you know, another map I can't say I'm not excited to see.
Yeah, Oasis again lends itself to a wide variety of compositions, though based on what we've been seeing from these teams, I'm going to wager that it's going to be a 2-3 Sombra that we're going to be seeing a lot of.
Yeah, it very well might be. Sombra gonna have some impact here, especially if we go to, I believe, University to start. And it looks like that's not gonna be the case, however.
Nope, it's a psych out. We are going to be going to this particular outdoor map whose name I can't remember because I'm a bad caster. So that being said, this is a potential Phara map.
Yeah. I mean, the Skybox is friendly enough to run a pharmacy or something along the lines of a little bit more DPS-focused compositions. Really, it's been one of those situations where I have not seen a whole lot of Oasis come into this tournament, at least not as much as I might like to. So I can't really tell how people at this level are playing. But that being said, we're going to kind of get a peek at the compositions here. And at the initial, it's going to look like a little bit more DPS favor.
Yeah, Aptyx, especially Moonblue in particular, showed no hesitation to jump onto that Sombra to begin with. Both sides having a Hammond that was pretty, you know, you can't really throw a stick at that. It looks like both sides are still going to be favoring the Sombra. It's difficult to say which one's actually going to happen. If Koa 3K does come out on the Widowmaker, though, that's going to be a pretty difficult situation for Aptyx.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. We saw Koa be very efficient on that Widowmaker during Lijiang. Really, once the kill started going through on Koa, it kind of released the Achilles tendon. But Moonblue just going to have to be very careful. May be expecting it after that last one.
Yep, and so Koa 3K does, on that Widowmaker, start to present themselves as a definitive threat, leaving Shadow JR, now that everyone's dead, that can affect it, to just murder everyone. What previously we saw from Moonblue kills, we're now seeing from Shadow JR, and that's just utterly fantastic.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if we saw Praise swap onto something like a McCree. It doesn't seem like that's going to be the option here. I just think that in terms of Phara mitigation, it might be a little bit better, although you still have to contest with that Widow who can work a lot longer of a range.
Yeah, and now that Full Send has the point, we could be looking at a pretty difficult situation for Aptyx, who have to somehow bust through, and this is not a busting through comp, this is a pick composition, so someone's got to find the kill. Choco being napped and Praise being hacked means it's probably not going to be them. The boop goes in, it doesn't really grab anything, and yes, Shadow JR does find Choco, so Full Send with that initial pick, it means that it's just probably not really going to be happening for Aptyx at the moment.
Yeah, the side of Aptyx are playing some very good DPS right now. Koa getting the shots, but really Shadow just as well showing some air superiority. Everybody on the side of Full Send seems to be kind of doing their part here. As I say that, and we're going to be seeing some kills now go in favor of Aptyx.
That was crazy. Again, Aptyx, you can't count them out of the fight until they are literally all dead. Moonblue finds the Mercy, finds the Phara, just does their job in terms of kills. So now, Aptyx gets a chance to build some percentage, deny some to Full Send, but they are only going to be just now getting everyone back on the point.
Yeah, Prey's going to be having this Pulse Bomb up. Might try to stick it onto one of the ground-based characters, but that really only leaves the the Ana because the rest are probably going to be pretty hard to hit.
Wow, and yeah, the hack goes in, the barrage is there, and it goes big, but, you know, most of the team of Full Send also doing their job. Praise is going to find Shadow JR as the last-minute effort, but Aptyx, that means they get to hold on to the point just a little longer, as long as someone's alive.
Yeah, absolutely, and even now, still a few kills going through for Praise, going to be taking out the opposing Tracer in Koa. You like to see it, and, you know, the side of Aptyx didn't walk away losing all of their ults. Praise may not have had to invest that Pulse Mine, but at the end of the day, Tracer can build ults so fast that you might not even really mind. They're really gonna have to play around these Anas, though. Anas have been so proficient at getting sleep darts. I don't know what happened with Vampiro.
Oh, Vampiro ripping pieces. Boy, have I been there. Shadow finds the dogfight victory, though. Moonblue gets taken right out of the sky. Praise forced to use his blink recall to get out of the way there. The res goes in on both characters. Moonblue and that one lands going down. Borkin having found the kill, but it's gonna be a barrage now for Moonblue, which might come in big after the nano boost, though. Gonna keep them from holding it off. And yes, they get even hacked again, so they're not going to be doing anything at this particular point in moment. And the kills, again, Full Send just showing utter dominance on this Oasis map.
Yeah, they are showing quite a bit of dominance. It's just not looking like Aptyx can get the opening kills in this situation. Aptyx is very good at kind of claiming kills in the mid fight, as we saw them swing an entire fight after what seemed like post de facto, but just not able to really open up here, and that's what you have to do in these DPS comps. You got to build those numbers early.
Yep, and the burst damage present. Ooh, Praise finds that one, so that's huge. There it is, but Moonblue gets taken in, and the dogfight once again as the barrage goes in. Choco does find Shadow before they can take them out, but Full Send's domination on the point is just too strong. Choco's going to be able to do a little bit of stalling action, but the hack is real. The bombs are down. Full Send's going to be taking this round, and we are going to be going into the second round of Oasis with now Full Send seeming to be taking dominance here.
Yeah, Full Send going to be in the good seat here. Definitely want to claim that. They might have heard us talking a little bit about how team that favored on the DPS comps. They might be wanting to claim that title back, and I can't say I blame them. They've definitely been putting in the work, at least on that last round. And, you know, we go into the university. It's going to be favoring the comp they just ran on Dorado as well with the Reinhardt Zarya.
Don't do this to me, Shadow. It's not funny anymore. It hurts. It hurts to see you do it. But yes, this is University. We're going to be seeing, if not a Sombra 2-3, then a purest of 3-3, as University is a map that just super favors that particular line of play, especially with those Reinhardt duels going crazy.
Indeed, and it doesn't look like Shadow Jr. quite backing off yet. Yeah, they're going to roll out.
Oh my god.
Doomfist. It's not a joke here, Threep, and we're going to be seeing on the other end of things the strict triple, kind of the fundamentals of what we've seen come out here. That D.Va not been seeing much play lately just because of the nerfs that have been going through. Let's see if it makes a difference here.
Yep, and so there you go, Shadow, just looking for that opportunity again. A huge anti-nade goes out once again from that one. And yeah, there you go, Shadow going right into the backline, doing some disruption here. No kills coming in from either side yet. Both teams being content to build those ultimates, but Borkin has been swinging for the hills with almost triple Faded's ult charge. And wow, there it is. Shadow makes the play. They get some kills. Now it's real. I don't think this Doomfist was planned for an Aptyx eSports' option, as the kills still coming in back and forth, but Full Send showing a little bit of the dominance. Aptyx, however, is going to be the one that takes the point. Well done there.
Yeah, one of the crucial happenings that occurred for Aptyx is they were able to fade it into the pit, effectively taking the Reinhardt out of the fight, meaning that you're not going to have all that shielding, you're not going to have any of that defensive stance, but it still looks like Full Send's going to claim it in the end.
Poor Zenyatta. He's gonna go down to a well-timed Space Jam, not Space Jam I should say, but Doomfist ultimate. So here we go. No switch off from the Doomfist yet, and it's really working out, and I don't really know what to say. Like, what year is it? What Overwatch are we playing?
Yeah, we're definitely kicking back to a little bit of the early into Season 12, Season 13 with all these Reinhardts. But the EMP going to lead with this Vampiro getting brought dangerously low. Might get out of this fight for a little bit.
Yeah, so finally Aptyx has the ultimates to make it happen. Praise drops the huge grab, and despite the, again, massive anti-nade coming out from that one, Aptyx is generating the kills necessary, and Shadow is finally going to switch over to the Brigitte. It's a solid Sombra now composition, and Aptyx going to probably be taking this point, but not after a significant percentage built up by Full Send.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a solid hold from Aptyx. We saw the side of Borkin get brought, or we saw Borkin rather get brought dangerously low. Then Vampiro led with the chin, seeing that Reinhardt so low, but got punished for teleporting to so close to the enemy comp. And right now it looks like Aptyx just kind of running away with the kills here. They're not giving the side of Full Send to really regroup, recollaborate. It's now going to be when Full Send kind of recollects themselves, giving Aptyx about as much progress on the point.
Yep, and Aptyx has the big six waiting and ready to go. So if Full Send's going to do something here, it's got to be good. And it looks like it's going to be good enough because Full Send, again, with the killer anti-nade, has managed to take out the blue. Now, the Shadow does go in from Borkin, and that is going to get Shadow. And that one also goes down, and the Diva Bomb comes out from on top, but Borkin is also going to fall. But now it's Alexio's anti-nade turn as Faded gets hit. He does not get topped up enough, and he is going to go down.
Yeah, that was an investment of ults by everybody from the side of Aptyx. And, I mean, while we're at it, we're going to talk about how Full Send now doesn't have any ults on the board. They'll have Shadow Jr.'s rally very shortly. But for both teams, that was such an expensive fight. And you can really only say it was worth it for the side of Aptyx, who are going to be in firm control. They're still building up percentage, and they're still getting progress on the point.
Yeah, they'll most likely be able to hold this until the 99, in which case it is practically safe for them to let it go. Not looking good for Full Send. They're going to have to come out with something.
Oh, no!
Wait, a Diva Bomb just ate something. A Diva Matrix? I don't even actually know what happened in the kill feed there. We're going to ignore that for now. But Full Send actually looking pretty dominant. Choco's going to get the demeched rather. And Reinhardt gets, oh no, sent down into the bottom again. So now we're looking at the dueling Rosarias as the sole damage sources, and Praise getting the nano boost means they're going to be building to that grab very quickly against a barriers thrown out by Still Kiwi.
Yeah, and a lot of ults being invested into this. It's looking like Aptyx just want to take this fight. That one Lance going to be bringing out that Transcendence to kind of clean up, or to kind of try to build a little bit more sustain. It might not be enough, however, as there's only a couple members left on point. That's going to be it. We're 1-1 on this map.
Yeah, Aptyx turned that around quite well, getting the kills necessary despite a number of ults coming out from Full Send. And just in time, too, as the number of ults were about to come online, which means if that had gone on any longer, Full Send might have had a really excellent option. However, we are going to be going into the final round of Oasis, and this is going to be where one of these teams is going to be taking away the lead.
Yeah, would like to talk, a little bit. I harped on it a little bit before, but, in at least two of the team fights, it was decided by Orion getting knocked into the pit. Not having that shielding is absolutely crucial. And really, that's just the kind of environmental awareness you need to have at this tier of play. Speaking of environmental awareness, both teams going to have to kind of keep eyes on the sky. Moonblue and Shadow Jr. going to be taking on those Pharas to kind of maintain that air dominance.
And speaking of awareness, don't forget to grab that stream MVP below. Also, grab a like and subscribe if you're liking what you're seeing, because I am Borkin getting almost halved. Moonblue again, not looking good in the Phara duel in the skies as Shadow utterly rips them apart. Aptyx strikes back immediately, but the boot from Shadow sends Praise to the Great Beyond. No more soldier for them, and Shadow now has dominance in the skies. Another boop! Squid also goes down. This is just unbelievable. Despite the kills from Aptyx, Full Send's going to be taking the point very early.
Yeah, that was kills going back and forth. Throughout that entire fight, could not tell you who was looking favorable. As, of course, we can see it is just Aptyx trying to hold. They're going to give it up a little bit, but Koa 3K going down might give them the opening they need to reclaim, especially since that Rez is going to be out, and Faded's now out of the picture as well.
Praise going down, though, means that it's still a back-and-forth game. No one has any idea what's going on right now, except that still Kiwi is down. That means no heals for Full Send. As Aptyx kind of has the free reign here, they are going to start taking control of the point. But there's still a lot of damage coming out from Full Send, as demonstrated by the sheer murderousness of the ultimates being thrown. I love the dueling soldier play, by the way. That's something we don't really get to see often.
Yeah, oh my goodness, Alexio, for those who did not catch it, barely holding on. Koa popping that tack visor, gonna be taking down the soldier with a little bit of hip fire, it seems, saving their own lives, and I'm sure their mercies as well ensuring the point gonna be flipped in favor of Aptyx. Now gonna be taking this high ground. You can't disagree with it when you have this Ana. Ana likes to play from the high grounds, just like most snipers do. It's not the worst decision.
Oh, Shadow wins the freaking duel again. They also grab Squid K despite the huge EMP coming out from Choco, and Aptyx despite pulling up the kills. Send is doing fantastically. They might have the option here, but as long as Aptyx holds the point, that means they're going to keep generating the charge.
Yeah, they absolutely will. Aptyx gonna already be leading the point here, and right now it just looks like they're trying to build up a little bit of time, but we're seeing more and more members kind of dive onto it just to get past that 50%. Not gonna quite make it there though. A lot of ults gonna be online, or about half the ults gonna be online for both teams. That might change the fight depending on which ults we see come out, but the the Nano and the Rocket Barrage for both sides, it's really the difference between Mines and Valk.
Yeah, that was nuts, but Full Send's getting those kills here, yes, means that the percentage that they tried to gain is pretty much going to be in vain, as now Full Send takes it over. Another anti-nade going in. Shadow Jr. gets the Nano. I think we all know what's going to happen here, and let's hang on up. No, it might not even be needed, as Full Send just generates way too many kills. Shadow's now ability in the sky is crazy. They're almost going to find the Mercy instead. They're just going to go back down to the point, finish off Choco, and Full Send's going to maintain hold on this one. This is not looking good for Aptyx, except for the fact that they have a lot of ults coming online.
Yeah, they certainly will. I'd like to see the side of Choco perhaps playing a little bit more with the healers, Alexio and Squid. We've been seeing quite a few dives from Faded onto those supports, and I think a Sombra to hack that might really help a big Soldier Tac Visor and then a big barrage.
So it's 3 kills for both sides with no rest coming in, but Aptyx, despite the EMP going in, or in spite of the EMP going in, I don't even know what's going on right now, except that Full Send still has the point. Aptyx is going to be getting the cap, but that's one fight territory for both teams.
Yeah, and both teams looking relatively ult-dry. Choco going to be having that EMP online quite soon, though. That might be a very good introduction into this fight. Give the other members time to build up the ults that they need. Mostly Moonblue and Praise, as we've seen a lot of fights kind of go in the way based off of how these ults have gone.
Yeah, and I can't really blame either team for wanting to get into this as quickly as possible. Aptyx jumping onto the point. Choco has the EMP. They're the only one with an ult ready to go at this moment, but still Kiwi. Oh, there it is! Shadow finally goes down thanks to some murderous revenge from Moonblue. The res goes quick onto Alexio and Koa 3K. The murderer in question also goes down, so now Aptyx showing a little bit of dominance, redominance, counteraction. I don't even get what it's going. Aptyx, where is this? This is the nail-biting stuff we live for.
Yeah, Faded really gonna have probably a tough time to use these mines. It's so hard to use those mines in defensive fashion. You use them maybe as a tool, but the mines for Borkin gonna be online here as well if they can get a little bit of damage without getting Sombra EMP hacked. We're gonna see those mines come out now on the high ground.
Yep, and yes.
Oh no!
Aptyx pretty much gives the point away for free. Both Hammonds go down, but now, yeah, Full Send is going to take it into 99 territory as well. The rest comes in on their particular Hammond. Kill still favoring Aptyx. Still Kiwi goes down. No more mercy for them. And there's the barrage. Huge. No big anti or sleep from that one. Aptyx retakes it, and there's not a lot coming out for Full Send, meaning they are going to take this point. Aptyx maintains now, again, a lead over Full Send.
Yeah, this is getting really close. Aptyx and Full Send playing a game of tennis. The point is just going back and forth. The point favor that is, and really, it's so refreshing to see some Soldier back into the game. I feel like it's been a while for me. It's nice, and you know, Soldier and Pharah kind of play really well against each other and with each other in a sense, more so than you might expect from two players who are essentially on two opposite sides of the map.
Yeah, also want to throw out the shot to the Sombras here, Shadow and Moonblue. Just really incredible work. Shadow bringing a lot of pain to the stage. But Aptyx, again, the sheer quantity of the kills coming in here means that they are going to be taking Oasis. They're looking at a match point situation. And now Full Send, with the map pick coming in, is going to be pretty huge for their life in this 7th round of the tournament winners bracket.
Yeah, we are going to be taking a few minutes as one of the players from Full Send deciding to restart their game. Of course, that is perfectly all right. We want to make sure these players are playing to the top of their capabilities. We don't want to, be throwing crummy games out there for you guys. So definitely going to be allowing Full Send their few minutes to get that set up. But in the meantime, anyway, we still have Aptyx to pick a map to ban. Meaning that, who knows, they banned Junkertown last time, and Dorado's not even on the map, so that pretty much eliminates it for any escort maps. They might choose to get rid of the hybrid maps if that's what they're leaning towards. They have not seemed as strong on these objective style maps.
So, however, that is actually going to be Temple of Anubis ban coming in from Aptyx. And that, again, we could possibly be seeing some mind games here. Aptyx might be thinking, man, if we just ban the hybrid map right out of the gate, that could be the signal for Full Send to just completely go full bore and grab that last remaining hybrid, or one of the remaining hybrid maps. However, they are going to ban Temple of Anubis, and that is going to eliminate a 2 CP map from the pool. But that does leave, Sir Waltham, Horizon Lunar Colony.
It does. I'm trying to do the crazy math in my head right now. 3 to have happen in order to praying to Jeff Kaplan to have happen is that we need to see. Oh my goodness. So we need to see next, if there's a map 4, we need to see the pick onto a hybrid map, then the ban onto Ilios, then Horizon Lunar Colony will be forced.
Yep,
I'm hoping that
no
comes
choice.
Yeah, I'm,
No
I'm
choice.
hoping that comes through. Ban Ilios, do it for your boy, and also take us to a map 5 because we want to see more fantastic gameplay. But also Horizon Lunar Colony. I think that'd be the first time in this tournament I've ever seen it come out. I'd be pleased as a pair, or whatever the expression is. I'm not.
Pleased as pair punch. Either way, Full Send's going to be grabbing that hybrid map. Speaking of never seeing Numbani.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing it. It's going to be chalked up, and this is so far going right to plan creep. All I'm waiting for now is the Ilios ban. Because if we don't, I mean, realistically, do I expect Aptyx to ban another control point map? No, but a caster can hope. A caster
can hope indeed. Before we get into this match, again, I want to remind everyone the Twitch MVP poll is just below there. Grab it. Let us know who your favorite option is. Also, if you're liking what you're hearing, liking what you're seeing, give us the fave, give us the subscribe. We'll be happy to have you. It's good times on this channel. We do matches just so freaking much. And it's not just me and Wealth. We got a host of other crazy casters coming at you. However, I think that's enough stalling. Now let's get debated about these comps.
Absolutely looking forward to it. To be sincere with you, Three, I'm expecting a little bit more of a dive style here. I don't know if the teams are necessarily comfortable running that, but the high ground can be really maneuvered well here if we do see that. When I say dive, I really mean more Winston Diva style compositions. It's not necessarily all Winston Diva when we talk about dive. There's certainly the possibility for something along the lines of a wrecking ball. And it looks like at the jump, Full Send's going to be opting for that. They're going to be opting for the Winston Wrecking Ball because that high ground is so easily accessible and obtainable with these compositions.
And speaking of high ground, they're going to be bringing a Doomfist into the mix as well. Given how well it worked on their Oasis play for at least the start of it, I think they could be seeing that, you know, we'll hold out on point A as long as possible. Holding on Numbani point A is a little difficult, but I guess for now they're hoping to just make it happen. Meanwhile, though, it's just going to be good times for the Full Send as far as this caster is concerned, because they even brought a Tracer to the play, and I literally could not be happier.
Yeah, this is looking very familiar of some forms of dive. A little bit surprised we're not seeing a Zenyatta. Not too surprised considering we haven't seen that form of dive, the Zen Lucio style dive, in I'd say quite a while. But the lead out with the Pharah just doing a little bit of scouting, it seems, trying to get the rest of the team, their comp set up. While I believe we saw the team still now just coming out of gate for the Aptyx.
Yep, and Tracer has found her mark. Moonblue goes down. Koa 3K on the Tracer is here to stay. That's the kind of message you want to send when you're playing a Tracer in a meta that doesn't really allow for it.
Yeah, you're going to have to take those wins where you can get them. Koa steadily on their way to building up a pulse mine. It may be a little bit hard for Shadow Jr. to land these right clicks. There's so many angles and there's so much verticality that can be accounted for here. It's really going to be tough. Again, Choco playing this Diva, not as relevant as we've seen lately.
Yep, and it's up to Aptyx to be pulling in the picks here. But if they can't get this defense away from this point, then it's just going to be continuous murdering happening as Koa almost finds the Mercy. They're actually going to get taken down. Squid does go, but not before many kills coming in for Aptyx now. That is the opening that they needed. Shadow going to be coming back onto the point just to try and keep some of this alive here. But instead, it looks like Aptyx is going to be starting to make progress as they finally clear out the members of Full Send.
Yeah, that's kind of one thing that I think Doomfist players have gotten too accustomed to. Shadow going in there with the Doomfist expecting an easy retreat since the Diva has become a little less relevant, but Choco right on their tail, ready to take them out, and a nice hack from Braze on to Faded.
Yeah, I'm actually loving the defense that came back from Full Send here. Aptyx just a little too entrenched on the point. The Koa 3K Diva Bomb, Tracer Bomb, didn't grab the target that it needed, and instead, they do, however, force some ults from Aptyx, and that's going to be big for this next play here.
Yeah, Aptyx does still have quite a few. They're going to switch Koa off that Tracer onto the McCree, perhaps to deal with Dive a little bit, and that's a really good decision considering we just see Moonblue switch onto this Genji, which means you might be expecting an Ana Genji blade moving forward, especially with the Sombra EMP. It offers a lot of options to just disable and slice up the enemy team. I think Koa's going to really have their work cut out for them to kind of negate that.
Yeah, and a bonus round, Koa 3K dropping off the Tracer, only to switch onto McCree. Diva Bomb's going in, though. They're going to avoid the EMP. Get Getches 2, though, and that's going to be a Shadow JR who cannot make his magic happen. The Nano Boost goes onto Genji, hopefully to probably get some blade action, but it's not going to happen. Still, Kiwi actually finds Praise, and another anti-nade goes in. Coco gets DMEC Full Send's defense looking solid. Aptyx probably just trying to build some ults here as they get ready for their next attack.
Yeah, Koa going to be getting a little bit aggressive here with this McCree, but certainly seeming to have the mechanics that pay off for it. Getting brought dangerously low, that might be a mistake, as now there's looking like it might be an opportunity for Aptyx to kind of take advantage here.
Turns out the town of Numbani was, in fact, not big enough for the two of them. Praise is going to take out their counterpart, and despite Vampiro's Angry Monkey coming in, Aptyx looking like they have some ingredients here. Choco gonna drop onto the Roadhog. And yep, there it is, Borkin onto the Orisa. We've seen this strategy before. It's called pulled pork, ladies and gentlemen, and I am so happy.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about we were talking about sandwiches just a little bit earlier. Pulled pork, one of the best kinds in my opinion. And right now we're already seeing the effect of it. Faded getting taken out very early.
Yeah, and despite that, Full Send's making it happen. Praise gets caught a little bit out of position. Borkin not able to get that shield and a good solid option. But this is now the moment where, despite the swaps, that Aptyx is going to start bringing some ults online. With only a nano boost against Full Send, still Kiwi's going to be hard pressed to get that barriers online for this defense to matter.
Yeah, and especially with this nano blade coming in, that's going to be crucial. Moonblue looking like they're not landing too many slices. Well, they certainly seem to be doing the job just properly.
It's always right at the last minute after a Genji gets stunned in the middle of a Nano Blade, because they didn't get the kill, so they gotta wait for the dash to come back online, or for some poor sap to get caught in their blade. Get caught, that one does, and that is going to be Moonblue heading back to spawn for this final play. 100 point C with solid time for Aptyx.
Yeah, and really, it's interesting to see that Moonblue did the swap just to get the Genji Blade for second point, and a big anti-nade coming to open up from the side of Aptyx.
Yeah, both Anas have just been doing a fantastic job here. Ooh, Full Send! They're gonna be switching to a pulled pork of their own! I super like this kind of mirror comp, because pulled pork is not the easiest of coordinations to pull off. Your tank's synergy has to be really on point, and that is going to force Aptyx back as they figure out how they want to deal with this.
Yeah, it looks like both teams are gonna be running a little bit of a spam style composition with that Hanzo. Hanzo's so good at breaking shields, and the coordination just gonna be looking so good from the side of Full Send.
Yeah, and who can argue with that early pick, with every team going onto the Roadhogs? Ooh, but no, Vampiro goes down, so now it's a little bit equal.
Oh no!
Squid popping off, grabs not only the Hog, but also the Mercy, and Faded is going to be following quickly after. This is Aptyx's opening, and now Full Send have to stabilize if they're going to make it happen.
Yeah, and this is crucial because you lose the Roadhog, you lose a massive amount of DPS, you lose a massive amount of control, and then to follow up with the Mercy kill, that is really good. No res going to be coming online. The Dragon's coming just to perhaps break things up here a little bit.
Ooh, I super like this. Aptyx setting up on the point, making it happen. They take the point with Nary so much of a how do you do, showing excellent map control as well as just the picks. Full Send, I think they may have gotten a little bum rush there.
Yeah, Full Send losing that Hog. The Hog got slept. Then I believe he got just focused down. The Mercy goes for the res. The Orisa grab comes in. That allows the Mercy to get grabbed. So you lose the Hog, you lose the Mercy. It's just such an expensive fight that really, if you don't wait for that full regroup, which they weren't really given the option to, it's so hard, near impossible to get that third point hold stabilized again.
Yep, and so Aptyx was definitely able to take advantage of that. Full Send just... We've seen solid defenses come out from Full Send, but what we also have seen is the ability to complete maps like this. So given their performance on Dorado, I have a feeling that their offense is going to be coming out swinging. And as Numbani tends to lend itself, I think we might be looking at a little bit of a point race here, which I would not be opposed to. And I'm not sure, however, since these teams are relative new in this matchup, which team that would favor.
Yeah, Aptyx looking like they might not be running the dive this time around on defense. They're looking like they might bunker down a little bit. Numbani kind of one of those maps that's really, I would say, a ladder bunker map, but not so much on, the organized team scene. So it's going to be interesting to see how Aptyx plays this. And they're not using the Baptiste either. They're using the Mercy Ana. I think that's a very interesting choice here. It might give the side of Full Send something to worry about if they run this Pharah.
Oh, and praise on the Ashe. Praise be indeed. Let me see some of that Bob point holding action.
Yeah, and right now it looks like we're just seeing a little bit of scouting from 3 of the members of Full Send just to get an idea of what they actually want to run. And the swaps are now going to come out as they solidify a more dive-centric composition.
And I think it's a solid choice. You have the Nano Blade potential here. You have the Winston Diva able to come up and pretty much ignore almost everything coming at you. The little bit of nerf coming into the defense matrix means it has to be used a little more conservatively these days, but I think Vampiro's up to the task. It's going to be how well Koa 3K and the other DPS can break that hold. Wow, Shadow actually going to be dropping onto the Pharah instead.
Yeah, quite a bit of time is going to be lost here just trying to decide the swaps. And Moonblue getting the first early kill onto Koa. Wow. That is pricey.
Yeah, the Mercy res is there, and it just proves that projectile damage coming out for that Torbjorn is massive. But it looks like they have noticed that Torbjorn is a little out of position. It looks like they start the dive, but instead they're not going to take advantage of it as they do retreat pretty quickly. Choco gets anti-nated, slept, and everything but killed. But again, ults being generated for both sides, no kill. And Moonblue again finds the Faded. No res going to be coming in this time. Praise gets Shadow, and that's the hammer kill onto Vampiro. Oh, the flex.
Yeah, you gotta flex just a little bit as that Torb. You gotta have the confidence when you're playing him. And right now, Aptyx not really losing any members. I don't even know if the Torbjorn turret dropped, but Moonblue been having this defensive position held up. And yes, you can call the Torbjorn out of position all you want, but he has been made a lot better at handling dives, especially with his overload ability, the turret that can shoot from a separate angle, giving him 2 points of attack. It's a powerful character kit against dive that a lot of people may not quite recognize.
Yep, and speaking of powerful anti-dive nonsense, Roadhog is back in the meta, and boy do I love that he's here to stay. Mercy goes down, still Kiwi not going to be able to provide any reses while they head back. Look at this turret position here, I really like that. It's advanced warning for any kind of sneaky flanks that the team that Full Send might be going for. Praise has Shadow's number here, this is crazy.
Yeah, and still not a lot of ults having been invested. I don't think any have been invested of Aptyx. We're going to see Bob go on the point just to stall, perhaps.
Yeah, I think the Dragons coming in there was a little bit of insurance there. Moonblue also going to be throwing out the Molten Core. The Barrage goes in and grabs them, but Koa 3K gets taken out from the grave. It's just Vampiro left on the point. The res comes in. Aptyx is at full strength. Meanwhile, it's Full Send that is about to get staggered very nastily.
Yeah, and it's really not too much of a surprise that Shadow got killed while popping that Pharah ultimate. There was the turret, there was the Bob, there was the healers getting just absolutely melted by the Molten Core nacho cheese, as I like to call it. And it's tough. They're not, or the side of Full Send, rather, not going to be walking away with more ults than the side of their defenders. And Aptyx going to be looking favorable in terms of economy right now.
Yes, it's still Kiwi going to be opening even with the Valkyrie just to make sure that they can last long enough. But Faded goes down to the combined effort of a Mercy with, Koa 3K having switched onto Ashe, goes down to their counterpart. Diva, Choco goes up to try and, Vampiro goes trying to make something happen. It's not going to happen. They get blown away. The defense on Aptyx is so strong. Full Send might not even have a chance at point A, but they've got a lot of ults. They've got a couple ults coming online, and Koa 3K's Widowmaker might be what busts this open.
Yeah, as well, the Primal Rage going to be in there to help dislodge some members from behind the Orisa shield, but there's a lot that Faded's going to have to worry about. The Coach Gun coming through, as we've seen, has already hindered Vampiro and Faded a lot from getting up there. There's also the Torbjorn dive to worry about, the Hog Orisa combo, a lot to have to kind of put onto the shelf here.
Oh, and there it is. Core 3K finds Praise. Shadow takes out the Torbjorn turret before he possibly have a chance to set up another one. It's not looking good. Bob is on the point. He's defending, but he has yet to get any kills. Praise switches over to the Tracer to try and make this hold happen. What a fascinating play from both sides. Full send, this could be it. This could be what they needed to happen. Moonblue's turret, they take out Shadow. Turret popping off. Let everyone be heard. This is crazy. Who says Torbjorn isn't a valid pick as Aptyx, with that happening, goes ham on the point. Overtime is over. Less is everyone. That's it. Aptyx takes it.
Yeah, Aptyx gonna be pulling away with that. Really, that Torbjorn pick was instrumental here. We see a lot of times that it's questionable when you see a Torbjorn sometimes in the game, but in this situation, I don't think they could have done it without it. Just some solid plays. Aptyx looking really good. This is definitely a return to form of the Aptyx, or including the Aptyx that we used to know from the previous Watchers Brawls.
Yeah, that was really solid from both sides. Full send again. Really want to emphasize just how utterly fantastic these plays were coming out. Oh man, I'm so glad that this is a double elimination tournament, because we are going to have a good time seeing them in the future.
yeah, definitely going to be looking forward to both teams. I don't think Full Send was looking that bad either. We saw some real progress coming out of them. And, you know, it's always good. It's always a cheer to me when we see teams don't just get 3-0'd. This one was a 3-1, so it was a little bit closer, but I definitely enjoyed casting it, enjoyed watching it. We're sure going to enjoy hearing the last few words we have from our interview here, which is going to be Borkin.
Hi.
Hi, Borkin.
Hi.
Borkin of Aptyx eSports. Tell me about yourself. What's your role on your team?
I play main tank. You know, protect everybody, take all the damage, beat a little bit. The fun part.
Oh, we saw some main tanking happen, all right. So now that we've got that, the fine pleasantries out of the way, let's get into brass tacks. So in this particular match, we saw you play quite a few of tanks here. We got to see a Reinhardt, we got to see a Wrecking Ball. I think we even got to see some really solid stuff on Numbani. Tell me what was going through your mind in Numbani.
I was really panicking for their barrage. I was just trying to go for a little bit more aggressive play so they couldn't stack ults. That was the plan.
All right. I super like it. Also want to ask, so on Numbani, we got to see some pulled pork action coming out from you and your Roadhog companion, which I personally super like to see as a former / current Roadhog player. How do you and Choco work on that Roadhog Orisa combo?
We screamed the I'm pulling and hook about 20 times, and it hopefully works. Hopefully.
I mean, we saw a couple of really solid picks. You guys grabbing a Mercy here and there, some really excellent fight openers. So, talking about tanks, though, so we saw a lot of main tank play. Do you feel ever at one point in time, so, you know, main tank being such an important role, and maybe less so in 3-3, but do you ever feel that the weight of the match is on your shoulders?
Definitely. A lot of times I try not to let it go to my head and like panic, but I know that a lot of my performance does happen. All right, if I mess up, it usually makes the team mess up. So I do keep it in mind a lot.
I feel that definitely when your Reinhardt goes down and you're the first kill in the match, that kind of hurts. So speaking of that Reinhardt, by the way, so we saw a lot of really solid duels coming out between yourself and your full send compatriot. When you go into a Reinhardt duel, what's the first thing on your mind?
Oh, yeah, Shatter. First thing on my mind.
The fact that ult tracking is on your mind first just makes me so happy.
Yeah.
All right, so you have just taken out full send, and you're looking to reclaim Aptyx's glorious place in this tournament. So your next matchup is going to be the victor of the match between Citizens and Unchained Truancy, but we saw from you guys coming out a lot of solid 3-3, we saw some Sombra, and we saw some DPS, but what is your particular favorite comp to play?
It's usually Goats with an Ana. That's usually the most fun for me. So I can get a fat pocket.
So swinging away.
Yeah. It's super fun.
Love it. I love it. So thank you, Borkin, for coming into the booth here for the interview. As a Aptyx eSports semi-fan, it's difficult to remain partial when I see you guys so often in the tournaments, but I'm definitely rooting for everyone. But it is definitely good to see y'all back in and ready to play. So congratulations for this victory against Full Send. You might see them again, who knows, but for now, good luck for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Sir Waltham, that was Borkin from Aptyx eSports, and based on what we hear, it looks like their aggression, despite the lineup change, is pretty much unchanged.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it a little bit before. Aptyx, a team that's not unfamiliar here. One team that was, pretty aggro going forward. So not surprised to kind of see their performance kind of rising to the top as we've seen. I don't want to, talk negatively. I'm not trying to BM anybody, but the irony of Full Send kind of coming in here and talking about pushing it all the way to the spawn, when in reality Aptyx looked supremely dominant on some maps. On others it was definitely more of a close battle. So, I mean, the irony is there, but in the end, Aptyx going to be taking it. Love to see it. Love to see the games going on to this kind of lengthy extent. And before we do go ahead and let out here, we're going to be holding on just a brief moment for the final MVP vote. From what I understand, there's quite the battle in chat going on.
I can kind of understand that. There was a lot of solid play going in. Not to speak of both Faras, not to speak of both Annas, not to speak of like literally any player on the field. Like, good lord, there was some really solid action going on. The Widow duels, the Reinhardt duels, even like the off tanks like Choco going at it, Vampiro also bringing in some Sombra. There's just so much good Overwatch to have praiseworthy, so to speak. Not throwing it out there that it should be praised. Not to say the praise didn't do a good job, but all I can say is I'm just real happy to be here. Like, these players were just a treat to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like every map there was somebody else you could kind of highlight. It's not even that there was somebody you could highlight. You could always say, wow, on this map, the Honors are doing really good. Or on this map, the Sombras are really like, I was talking about it on, I think it was Dorado, how the Sombras just seemed so bloodthirsty. They were just really trying to just get that ult charge, get those brutal hacks, playing so well around those other supports. But then, a little bit later, we see the supports come in and, they turn the tables there a little bit with the sleep darts really starting to pick those up. But it looks like we are finally going to have a decision be made here in Twitch chat. And it looks like, according to Twitch chat, it's going to be Borkin as the viewer MVP. So Borkin, I know you already left the interview booth, but we're going to be having you as the MVP. So congratulations to Borkin. Congratulations to Aptyx eSports. Full Send also put up a great fight. Overall, a great evening of casting.
Yeah, also going to throw out that one lance very close, which quite a few votes to Borkins. But yes, it was utterly fantastic to be casting this match. I am just happy to be here, loving it. And so we are going to be signing off for now. Catch us back again at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So this has been 3.007. Grab me on Twitch or Twitter at 3.007.
And similarly, I have been Sir Waltham. You can catch me Twitch or Twitter, Sir Waltham, WALTHAM. And on behalf of everybody here at the Overwatch Brawls, we'd like to say a big thank you for tuning in and watching with us. If you'd like to show any support, a follow, joining the Discord, following our Twitter, showing some subs into the chat, we'd greatly appreciate it. Otherwise, we hope you enjoyed the games here. We hope to catch you guys here in about 30 to 45 minutes. And we hope you guys have a great night and stay safe out there, everybody.